Belt and Road Summit in Hong Kong underlines the importance of ASEAN partnerships, with speakers including Tan Sri Dato Dr. Francis Yosok Ping, Managing Director of YTL Group, one of Malaysia's largest conglomerates. Dr. Yo, thanks very much indeed for joining us. And really, you were looking in the session that you were in at the role of ASEAN, of Hong Kong and China, really. How important do you think the Belt and Road really is?
I think I've articulated just now how important it is in timing. If you look at the history, like I said, in the past of after the war, the Marshall Plan was done to create a situation where economic development can actually progress after the war. And here, Belt and Road is trying to emphasize on infrastructure, which is correct, which is 12 times the size of Marshall Plan. But the multilateral organizations are not enough. They are too small and too slow to react to the infrastructure needs. We need 800 billion US a year, 8 trillion over 10 years to make sure the infrastructure is adequate for the people to be productive. None of this is going to happen unless people realize the potential that it could create now.
So to miss this initiative would be to miss your point in history, really.
Absolutely, absolutely. The term I've illustrated Hong Kong or Singapore, one in ASEAN, one in China, are successful when their per capita GDP is higher than Europe. In Singapore's case, higher than United States GDP. Why? They have a transparent, a coherent regulatory framework that allows infrastructure to be invested by the private sector. That's all it takes. Now, China has also learned that. China has learned that they could invest power in Singapore, just like me. They own a third of Singapore's electricity. And they could own power plants in Malaysia too, because we have a regulatory framework that allows them to invest in it. My emphasis in Hong Kong now is that Hong Kong must take advantage of its position today to do the renminbi financing, set up 50-year bonds in renminbi currencies instead of hedging against the US dollars.
So when you're looking at both Hong Kong and the renminbi, and of course Hong Kong is the largest external market for the renminbi, you see the two going together. You see the complementarity of that as against also the other countries on the Belt and Road.
One thing converging in ASEAN and Asia is the cereal habits of Asians. They save a lot. And not only will they save their own money here, there'll be reservoirs of money from all the Western capitals. And with this money that they have, it's better to convert them into local currency. So ASEAN will trade more with China in renminbi. So renminbi becomes an alternative source to the US dollars. You'll be able to provide these services at a fifth of the cost.
This is talking about, if you like, conventional infrastructure. Yeah. But the other question is digital infrastructure, in other words, the kind of e-Belt and Road. How do you see that developing over the next 10 years?
Digital infrastructure is just as important, if not more, than the physical infrastructure. There is a digital revolution that will change the shape and the scope of jobs. And most of the SMEs in the past will not be able to cope with this if the digital infrastructure are not there to progress. The ASEAN and Asian economy need to invest heavily on the digital infrastructure.
Can we cast ourselves forward now on the Belt and Road and look, say, 5 to 10 years out? What will Asia look like?
The Chinese economy is going to be much, much larger than today if they get this right. And the ASEAN economy will similarly prosper. And because of the globalized world today, the European economies and also the US economies need the ASEAN and Asian consumers to buy their products at the technological advanced level that they have. We must globalize prosperity. That's our job.